Hello and welcome to News 9 Facebook Live with me, Adarsh Vepachedu. It is good to be back, and yes, it has been a while, but in the time that I've not come live on Facebook Live, we have seen a surge in the number of COVID-19 cases across the country. And yes, we've also inched closer to Unlock 2.0, which is in a sense all set to come into effect starting from tomorrow across the country. So while we have already discussed in the past as to what Unlock 2.0 could be like, there are quite a few states across the country which are in fact considering lockdown itself as a more preferable option at this point in time, given the number of cases that their jurisdictions, that their states are witnessing on a daily basis. Now, a few of these states and a few of these regions, cities to be precise, have in fact gone for a lockdown even when Unlock 1.0 came into effect. So with Unlock 2.0 coming into effect, there are still a few states that are willing to go for an extended period of lockdown. So I thought I should come out and speak to you about where Karnataka stands when it comes to what its unlock or lockdown policy looks like, and how does it really pit against many other states that are in fact going for a voluntary lockdown instead of going for Unlock 2.0, which is all set to come into effect. So we'll speak about a few of these states. We'll start with home state Karnataka, of course. As per the latest guidelines that have in fact come in today, you have a situation where timings have been specified for office goers. It is from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. These are the stipulated working hours in Karnataka, and they're effective from today. That apart, there is also Sunday curfew, which will come into effect starting coming Sunday. So when it comes to the Sunday curfew, we've experienced this in the past, and it was scrapped for a while, and now it is back again. It is essentially a day full of lockdown. You cannot go out, and there would not be any facilities per se that will be available except for the emergency services. So that's Sunday curfew, and from the coming week we have that will be implemented. So these are the two major steps that the state government has taken at this point in time as per the latest inputs coming in. But yes, this again comes at a time when Karnataka and Bengaluru are registering a spike when it comes to the number of COVID-19 cases. So we'll pan our attention a little bit to neighboring Maharashtra, where again, as per latest inputs, news just breaking in that the lockdown in Maharashtra has been extended till the 31st of July. Now, this comes on the backdrop of Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, in a sense, announcing more relaxations that may be given to speed up economic activities across the state. And he said that these relaxations, though they may be given, it does not really mean that the danger of the crisis has in any way ended. And this unlock process that is being spoken about in Maharashtra is being dubbed Mission Begin Again. And it is being gradually implemented to put the economy back on track. But yes, on one hand, Maharashtra is trying to bring its economy back because it is obviously the home for the financial capital. On the other hand, you have a state where the lockdown has been extended till the end of July. So it remains to be seen as to how that balance is struck when it comes to Maharashtra, which continues to be the worst hit state across the country. We'll look at neighboring Telangana, where lockdown in all likelihood is going to continue when it comes to the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation limits, that is the Hyderabad city itself, because that again has turned into a hotspot. A number of cases are constantly on the rise, and the state government has come at the receiving end of some criticism when it comes to testing. So a bottom line really is that Hyderabad and Telangana are also witnessing a spurt in the number of cases, and Hyderabad particularly is turning out to be a nightmare for the officials. So in all likelihood, that's what will happen in Hyderabad as well. Lockdown will be extended starting tomorrow. I mean, in a sense that continuing from tomorrow, that is. When it comes to neighboring Tamil Nadu, the experts in the state have recommended the extension of lockdown, and this comes at a time when the 12-day extended lockdown in the 5 districts of Tamil Nadu, including Chennai and Madurai, come to an end tomorrow. So a decision on what Tamil Nadu will do after tomorrow is pending, and it may come anytime now. When it comes to Haryana, you have, of course, Gurugram, the capital of the state, which is again witnessing a spike in the number of cases cases. So parts of Gurugram, the containment zones particularly, may go for a 14-day extended lockdown. And even when it comes to the northeast, you have a few states voluntarily willing to go for a lockdown instead of observing Unlock 1.0 or Unlock 2.0 that will come into effect starting very soon. So Manipur, you have a situation where the Chief Minister N. Biren Singh has said that they have decided to extend the ongoing lockdown for another 2 weeks or 15 days to be precise, and this comes at a time when Manipur has registered well over 1,000 cases that are being reported, and the lockdown has been extended in the state till the 15th of July, which was initially supposed to be lifted on the 30th of June. Even when it comes to Assam, when it comes to Guwahati, particularly the capital of Assam, a 14-day complete lockdown has been declared in the city, and the government has also decided to extend the lockdown to contain the spread of COVID-19, of course. And even when it comes to a Monday morning, the streets in Guwahati wore a deserted look today. And this obviously because of the kind of lockdown measures that are being taken in Guwahati city, which has reported 195 coronavirus positive cases in the last about 24 hours. So in Assam, you've got a situation where the number of cases has crossed the 7,200 mark on Monday itself. So these are a few states that have decided to go in for an extended lockdown. Obviously, you have Maharashtra leading from the front because they obviously have a situation where you cannot even think of an unlock. So given the fact that they have a city like Mumbai, which is seeing a sudden spike and which has been a hotspot from the beginning, it is highly unlikely that a city like Mumbai or a state like Maharashtra will even think of unlock 1.0 or 2.0 for that matter starting tomorrow. So lockdown across several states, but yes, as we just discussed, Karnataka has slightly more easier, or let's just say less stringent rules when it comes to the lockdown itself. And yes, Karnataka as a state and Bengaluru as a city has fared much better than most of the states across the country. So yes, a little less stringent restrictions in Karnataka, but a fresh ones come into effect today itself. So that's where things really stand at this point in time. Before I wrap, I'd like to just take a look in case if you have posted any questions, any of your queries. But yes, it is indeed testing times, and despite the fact that the center is looking at Unlock 2.0, again, it is all about trying to get your economic activity back on track versus keeping coronavirus under check. So obviously there are a few states and a few cities across the country which are not able to keep a check on coronavirus cases. So they obviously would want to continue with the lockdown instead of observing unlock of any sort. So yes, a few comments that I'd like to read out. Karnataka government should be serious in taking up the matter seriously. Not only having lockdown only on Sundays, corona doesn't spread only on Sundays. Yes, that's again a very famous way of putting it as to how coronavirus does not really look at anything for that matter. It can strike on any day and it can strike anyone. So by that logic, yes, you need to have a more stringent form of lockdown across the country, but at this point in time, not so stringent when it comes to Karnataka. So a few views coming in as to how there should be another lockdown at least for 40 to 30 days in entire Karnataka. That's a comment that's coming in. So yes, that is a thought, and you have experts working on the ground itself, but at this point in time there seems to be no need in their minds for any sort of a lockdown or an extended lockdown anywhere across Karnataka. You have a few timings, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. Across the state. These are working hours, but that apart, and of course Sunday curfew apart, there is not too much that is going on. So a few comments coming in. Will COVID can come back to the same infected person earlier? Again, a few studies going on to that effect, and when it comes to a few countries like China, they have seen a relapse of cases coming in. So yes, it remains to be seen as to how things will really pan out on that front. So all those money government is spending just to show off, nothing has been better. Yes, there has been a lot of money that is being spent, but we cannot really call that a show off per se. And yes, there may have been better places where the government could have spent money, or utilization of funds may be questioned, but you cannot call that a show off by any means. So That's what things look like at this point in time. So yes, you can drop in your comments as to whether Karnataka or whether states across the country should think of a lockdown, or at this point in time, as I was just telling you, the center is coming out with Unlock 2.0. So how will a state really strike a balance is something that is really open to the state. So you can drop in your comments and let us know as to what you think Karnataka should do going forward. So that's been my brief interactive session. I'll be back very soon once again. Many thanks for joining us. This is Adarsh Wepachedu signing off.